They make a both way. A, what over would be. It's not like the true.
I know, right?
Especially when it's outside.
Yeah, wait, now you're ready and started, let me know. Oh, yeah.
So,
Let's call this order to meeting, or meeting to order.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done. Alright. Can I get a roll call, please?
President Hawkins,
Here.
Ms. Bruni,
Here.
Mr. Deadlock, here, Mr. Morgan,
President.
Mr. Pacini,
President.
Ms. Whirl,
Here.
Ms. Wheel.
Absent. She's not.
You knew she's gonna be gone, okay.
Is there a motion to approve minutes from the meeting dated 7/1/2024?
I move to approve the minutes of the meeting, July 1st, 2024, with just a couple of minor corrections. Under finance, the motor fuel tax compliance review is from May 2019 to April 2021. But other than that, move to approve it.
May 2019 to April of 2021.
Yes.
Are the dates, okay. All right. Did I have a second?
Yes. Morning.
Okay, motion to approve meeting minutes from July 1st with the correction of the dates for the finance MFT correction. This should state May of 2019 through April of 2021. Motion is made by Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
seconded by Ms. Whirl,
Yes.
Ms. Bruni,
Yes.
Mr. Deadlock,
Yes.
Mr. Pacini.
Yes.
Do we have anyone for public comment?
Yes, Val Jeanrella would like to speak pertaining to two separate topics.
First of all, I'm representing the Historical Society, and once again, this year, we're having our golf outing on September 21st out of Minnetonka Golf Course. Golf players are $100, and the money supports the Historical Society in the village. We moved to a different building in the village and got some new exhibits going on there. We hope that we can get the support of the village board with a donation once again this year. I've already given a form in the office with that. And that takes care of the Historical Society. And then
What was the date? I'm sorry. September what?
September 21st,
First, okay.
right? It's at start is at noon. Registration is 10 o'clock on. You get lunch and dinner with that.
Okay.
And then as a concerned citizen and being on the board at one time, I'd like to address this video gaming issue that you're going to speak about later on in your session. And I suggest that you very strongly consider refusing this video gaming license at the truck stop. I am in favor of everything the truck stop does or that the gas station does there. But there's some concerns as a citizen. One, the definition of a truck stop has to have parking for multi-vehicles, semi-vehicles and trailers, area to refuel those trucks and things like that. And usually it has a restaurant facility as well as by definition. And then also it in some cases has showers and a laundry for the people that stop there. And my concern is the size of the parking and overnight parking because it's on residential property there with trucks running at night, making noise if they are there. Also, I don't see the village getting anything out of releasing another license for that when we also already have 3 or 4 licenses in the village. You're just spreading it thinner to the individuals that are trying to make money on it. And the village is making no additional money with the size of the population we have and with the amount of trucks. Our biggest funds for video game use is going to come from the truck stop that already exists on the outside of town. Thank you for your time.
Just for clarification, I'm sorry, you're referring to the new shell, right?
I'm returning to the grant
making-
mark.
Yes.
Grant
Or
mark.
grant mark, okay,
You kind of lost me there, to be honest.
No, the grant mark.
yeah, okay, just wanted to make sure we got it cleared up. Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
That's it.
Do we have a motion, to approve bills for payment and payroll?
Yes, I move to approve bills for payment dated July 12, 2024, from the corporate general fund in the amount of $11,695. Also dated July 12th, from the motor fuel tax fund, $425. Also dated July 12th, from the best fund, $13.34. Also dated July 12th, from the TIP fund, $91,155.01. Also move to approve payroll ending July 6, 2024, in the amount of $20,123.45. And ending July 12, 2024, stipend of $3,189.79.
Do you want to just, okay, go ahead, I'm sorry, do we have a second? I'll second.
Okay.
Do you want to just explain the 90,000?
Yes, every year we take TIP money away from other taxing agencies in the area to improve property in parts of the village. And what that does is it increases the property value and therefore the tax that all of those taxing agencies benefit from. However, when we entered into the contract with the school district, we said that if they engaged in capital development kinds of projects, we would reimburse them for a particular amount that's specified in the contract. This year, that amount is $91,155.01. We've haven't paid them every year, but pretty much every year since the TIF went into effect back in 2005, 2006, 2007.
I think it's like every 18 months or something, right?
Well, every year, except
Yeah.
that there was a year in there they didn't do any capital development, so they didn't take any money with the TIF. And this year, they've spent more money than 91,000 in fixing like the lab and a number of other things.
Okay. Any other questions about that?
Or anything else on the vehicles or?
Okay, motion to approve bills for payment as follows, dated July 12th, general fund, amount $11,695 even. Motor fuel fund at $425 even. The best fund account, $13.34. And out of the TIP fund, $91,155.01. Payroll ending July 6th in an amount of $20,123.45. And stipend ending July 12th in the amount of $3,189.79. This motion is made by Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
seconded by Ms. Bruni,
Yes.
Mr. Delon,
Yes.
Mr. Pacini,
Yes.
Ms. Worrell.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Department reports, clerk Scott Dillman.
I don't have anything other than the best I can do for clarification. I've been asked a couple of times, what are the dates that you can take out petitions for the next April election? And people just thinking ahead of time, and I had a conversation with Dan Hendrickson, our county clerk, concerning that, and I did not aware of this, but apparently our state legislature makes a big deal out of this, and it goes to legislature, and they talk about it, come up with the date instead of a regular standard date
Oh.
type of thing. I didn't realize they did this way, but as of the conversation, the date has not been set yet.
Okay.
But he presumes, like in other years, it's gonna be somewhere in late August before you can take out petitions, and they must be turned in somewhere prior to Christmas.
Mhm.
But he definitely will be sending information to the office on the exact dates and times and everything that's necessary when he gets it. That's the best
So
I
as
can
soon,
tell you.
yeah, as soon as we get something, we can let the community know. We're gonna need 4 trustees. a new clerk,
Yeah,
and a new
three
village president.
4-year term trustees, 1 2-year term trustee, village president and a clerk will all be up for reelection.
Yes. All right, we'll get
Okay.
that information out there as soon as we have it then. Thank you for that. The attorneys, I have nothing, Neil Piggish, they're still fighting with the internet people on Essen Farm. They said they removed all the posts, but there was one post at the end that still needs to be removed before they can start the Essen Farm project, which unfortunately pushes it back a couple weeks. So as of right now, it could be done before school starts, but there's no promises, so there's that.
Jamie?
Yes, sir.
Question, please. Where are we at with the water issue across?
Taylor,
Yes.
last week they came out, surveyed it, got all the specs. They're just putting it together to give us a quote.
Okay,
And then as soon as I get that, I'll let you guys know.
thank you.
Insurance and ordinances committee, Ms. Susie Weedle is not here. Today we will be going over an ordinance for creating a new chapter 20, developers and professional fees with Title I administrative of the Grant Park Village Code of Ordinances. So is there a motion to waive the first reading of this?
I'll move to waive the first reading of the ordinance. And what's this ordinance? It's,
It is gonna be O 2471. There's dashes in it.
Is it not 7-24-1?
Yeah, O 24-7-1.
there's 7 days, 24 days.
I think it's
So is it,
7-24-1.
sorry, okay, 7-24-1. I apologize. This ordinance, is something that we brought up because of the fact of a lot of, building is going on, we have rezoning going on. So this will help the village with any fees, as far as legal fees, when people have to rezone a property or they want to create a new subdivision or neighborhood.
I made the motion. Was there a second?
I'll second. Thank you, Morgan.
Okay, we have a motion to waive the first reading of ordinance O-7-24-1, creating a new chapter 20 for developers and professional fees within the title of Grant Park Village Code of Ordinances. Motion is made by Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
seconded by Ms. Worrell,
Yes.
Ms. Bruni,
Yes.
Mr. Denlock,
Yes.
Mr. Cassini.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance O-7-24-1, the ordinance as removed.
Thank you, sir. I'll second. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, motion to adopt ordinance O-7-24-1, creating a new chapter 20 for developers and professional fees within Title I, administrative of the Grant Park Village Code of Ordinances. Motion made by Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
seconded by Ms. Bruni,
Yes.
Mr. Denlock,
Yes.
Mr. Cassini,
Yes.
Ms. Worrell.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Streets and Alley Committee, Mr. Chairman Frank Cassini.
Okay, I wanted to talk about the leak pickup.
Leak pickup, okay.
The issue here now is with the equipment that we have.
Mhm.
You can speak up a little bit.
Yeah.
Frank.
Oh, sorry. It's with the equipment that we have, it's not really that good. It's bad. I was over there. Steve showed me everything. Yeah, we got the big truck that's leaking oil very bad, and you got the leak going thing, the wiring so bad. And we need to look at it now because the time's coming where, people are gonna want their lease picked up. So, there's some different things you can do. Where you can have the garbage company pick them up. Where they have to buy the bags and then they gotta buy the stickers.
Mhm.
Or, there's another thing is that, talking with Scott over there, what you could do is like back off for 1 year. Now,
Mhm. I think, I brought this up in January, or February, to get everyone ready for this situation. We knew last year that, our leaf truck, I don't even know what we want to call it, the orange thing, was having issues last year. We luckily got it Band-Aided by whoever it was that fixed it. I'm not sure who it was. So now we're at the point where it's either we gotta poop or get off the pot. So we can try, what, I think Frank or Scott or Ben, whoever it was that suggested it. If we could maybe not pick up leaves or do anything this year, and see what happens. It would be easy just to go out and buy a used or rent a leaf thing, but we have so many other projects right now that are a priority. We have the sewer water on Taylor we have to take care of. We have the other project on Essen Farm we've all voted on to take care of. So maybe this year, if we take a break from the leaves and, see what happens. I don't know how the other trustees feel about it, but I mean, they are just leaves. I know some people, their yards are immaculate and I appreciate that, but right now, with what we have, we can take an official vote at the next meeting if you want, or whatever you guys suggest. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a way to let people know if there's an option to do it through the garbage company, whether it's something through the mail, or it's not everybody has Facebook, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something through the mail, because I know just on my dad's block alone, it's like a very serious situation.
Oh, I know
Getting there
that.
before the truck. And I think it's a great part about living in this town that we have that, because a lot have completely
Yes.
Xed that out. I know there's not a lot of extra funding right now, but people do love it, and it's a good part of the community, so we could let them know there's other options to get it taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't speak with the garbage company. Did you speak with them or no?
no, I just talked.
I mean, I can call them and see if individuals can do it or if it has to be the whole town. I'm guessing it's gonna have to be the whole town.
Yeah.
We kind of do already have issues with the garbage.
Right, that was
company
my
on
second
a
thought on
daily
even
basis.
saying- Yeah.
So, Ben, did you want to say something?
Yeah, as far as the garbage pickup, that would be considered yard waste, through October, they will pick up whatever you put in the yard waste containers. I know it's an inconvenience, but right now financially, we're not in a position for 6 weeks of leaf pickup. Financially, we're not in a position to put a lot of money into it.
Right.
It's not gonna be a popular decision, but I don't think we have a choice this year. But I think, as Morgan said, getting the word out, letting people know, and reaching out to Republic and saying, is this a true fact? And
Right.
people put them out in the yard waste, and you will haul them out. Now, in the past, when people have put them in paper bags, the bags get wet, and then you pick the bags up and the bottom falls off and the leaves are on the ground again. So that wasn't much of a solution. And I agree with Frank, the equipment needs to be replaced. But we need to replace the Dodge also, and we don't have funding to do any of that right now. So we'll have to look at it and we'll come up with a better plan for next year.
Yes. I will get a hold of Republic. I will find out if, like you just said, can they just put the leaves in the yard waste up until October? Is that okay? If they put bags on the side, maybe the paper bags, I'll find all that out before the next meeting. But we can create a letter or flyer and just mail it out to everyone. I mean, that's not that hard. It's maybe $200 to mail everyone a flyer.
You know, they're every 3 months, if they go and be like, here, look what else we offer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only gonna help them too, if people sign up for it. But
Yeah.
Whatever works best.
Yeah, no, I can definitely get some answers for us about that. And then, yeah, let them know this year. Fortunately, we have to do it. Maybe, you never know, it might not be as bad as we think. We've never done it, so, we'll definitely print out a letter or a flyer, just explaining it for anyone who doesn't watch the meetings, doesn't have Facebook, doesn't know someone that was here, to let them know, so we can do that. Was there anything else, Frank?
Just a reminder, when complaints start rolling in, at the property and property and the side, parkways in the sidewalk areas. You know, the weeds and all that stuff, that's their responsibility.
I'm sorry, Frank, I can't even hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry, my list. I said that, probably complaints will start coming in, from property owners and businesses owners, especially the downtown ones. They are responsible for the weeds in the parkway and in the sidewalk areas.
Oh,
And then one other thing is, Steve, let me know that the woman's bathroom at the park here has a broken flange again, and it wobbles and may leak. He suggested to have a proper plumber come in and fix it.
In the toilet, in this one? Okay.
That's all I got.
Can you let him know to contact a plumber and get it fixed, please? Thank you. That's not something that we would have to approve unless it's gonna be thousands of dollars. He can go ahead and get it fixed. Anything else from anybody? Nope. Okay, the finance committee chairman, Gary Moore.
Yes, following our vote for the police car last time, I was asked to take a look and see what it would cost to actually borrow the money from Ford as a payment. Carl went and asked them, it'd be 7.59, I think it was, which is more interest that we'd be paying for it than we would lose taking money out of the bank. So I think we're gonna stick with taking the money out of the bank. Just makes sense. I mean, I think we'd save almost 5%.
So we'll just pay back ourselves again?
And then we'll pay back ourselves over time. The other thing is last time, I think we also approved a pickleball net for the court. Turns out it needs a bigger hole than 4 inches and needs like 2 feet and 36 inches down. And then pour cement into that and put the sleeve for the net. So it would still be a 4-inch hole and nothing above ground, but it would take
It's like a fence post.
yeah, like a fence post and flush with the top, and it's, would take our guys probably a day to do it, and that's all we did that day. So again, is that something we continue want to do? And basically, we approved it, we've got the, net at the village hall, everything else is just like we expected. Guess I didn't do my due diligence to find out about the 4-inch hole, I thought that would be enough.
Anybody? I missed
You're
that
okay with
meeting.
it?
Okay.
We're this far into it.
Okay, we'll see what we can do. I'll reach out and see if we can get some kind of volunteer help or something. Otherwise, it'll fall back on Steve and JD to do, and of course, they're really busy right now. But we'll see what we can do about getting that done. Just wanted you to know, that's all I have.
So we need to dig a hole through the blacktop, right?
If we cut a hole, and I think it's concrete,
Mm.
and that's not hard. I mean, you do it with a chisel drill. And then dig out 36 inches, which really isn't a big deal. I mean, it's not, I mean, it's a couple hours, but
Yeah, no, I
I
know.
mean, I did 8 post holes a couple of weeks ago, and it's just something you do with your thing. Getting through the concrete is more difficult,
Yeah.
but you do need like a chisel.
A
drill.
jackhammer or something, yeah. Okay. Then I guess we'll see what we can do ourselves, Steve and JD. If they are unable to do it, we can reach out for volunteers.
Okay.
And then at that point, if we have to, we would come to another decision to either pay someone to do it or
Yeah.
wait until 2025 when our other part is ready,
Okay.
next September.
Okay,
Okay, sorry, go ahead. Is that it for you, sir?
yes, that's all. Thank you.
Community outreach, Mr. Ben Detloff.
I have one thing. July 10th, we met with Mr. Scott Franco of Surf Internet. At that meeting, Gary Morgan, Scott Dillman, Steve Sullivan, JD Dykema, myself, and 3 citizens were here. He explained to us what his company had to offer as far as internet service. Now, this internet service wouldn't cost the village any money and there won't be any tax dollars involved. And I think for the village, it's a very good investment for our future. It brings another opportunity in here for people to make a choice. He explained the whole program on how they would proceed. He would bring a group in here that would have a pre-job meeting to explain how they would proceed from here. And then we also talked about how would this benefit people in the outlying areas, not just the people in the village.
Oh, nice.
So we tried to cover all that, and Mr. Franco is here this evening, and he's sitting there, the gentleman in the blue shirt.
Hi, Mr.
So
Frank.
at this time, I would like to make a motion to the board that we accept Surf Internet to come into the village and bring their consulting crew in and get started on the preliminary outline of how the work is going to begin and welcome into the village.
So it's Surf Internet is
Yes.
the name? Okay,
And
and,
I'll
okay,
second that because I think it's a really good investment.
thank you, sir.
Okay, motion on the floor to, give permission to Surf Internet to bring construction team in, for Grant Park.
Hurry.
Motion made by Mr. Detloff,
Yes.
seconded by Mr. Morgan.
Yes.
Ms. Bruni?
I have questions.
Okay, sure.
So you're saying construction, so with, what are we talking construction here? Are we constructing a huge tower in the middle of town?
Actually,
Like somebody's back here, like, these are the kind of questions.
Come on up, Mr.
yes,
Sorry.
I'll give the
Come
thumbnail
up, Scott.
version of the meeting when we met a month ago, and we gave a little quick preview last week, when we met to talk about the project. We're a fiber internet provider. We want to come to town and actually build a fiber network, directional boring in the ground. So in the end of the project, residents will have a chance to have their own fiber run to their home and have high-speed internet. Not wireless, not fixed wireless, not copper wire, not coaxial cable, like cable, the Comcast, but actual fiber. It's like some of the bigger cities have.
What do you mean, you run it to their house and so you dig up like in front of people's yards, or how do you get it to everyone's house?
The network will be built throughout town and every home will have an opportunity to connect to it or not. And people that do, they'll be, splicing takes place underground in front of the homes and the wires are brought to the homes.
It just goes through the whole town?
Pardon me?
It just gets put through the whole town,
Yes.
other people want it?
Yep, our investment, not yours.
Right.
So that's the most important question. It's not gonna cost anything
Well, I
here.
don't care about the cost of it,
Yeah.
the festival coming up and, you know, I mean. just tear up
We
the whole
talked
town.
about that too. So, this pre-kickoff meeting, whenever we have it, we like to get in depth to know what your future improvements are, where they're gonna be, or your festivals. That way we work around things and we're mindful ahead of time. We know when to be around, when not to be around. We talked about, communication to the residents about how a project like this works. Restoration during construction, when you're boring, things like this. We can get in a lot more detail at that. We welcome anyone to attend, but we call it a pre-design meeting or a pre-construction kickoff meeting. Then we'll go into a little more depth than what we did kind of at a higher level last week.
What is like the cost range for what Surf has to offer?
Like $55 to $105 on average, symmetrical speeds, 100, 500, 1 gig, 2 gig, multi-gig.
And I have a question as a
Yeah.
homeowner. So is this going to be kind of like Aqua where the homeowner is going to be responsible for the line that comes to their house?
Responsible in what way? Like once it's there?
If something should break, something should happen, who is responsible to fix that line at that point? Is it the-
We usually just fix it, but I mean, sometimes if we check into like how it broke, why it broke, or how it got disconnected, or cut, but typically we just take care of those things.
Okay, so it's not something I would have to pay to tap into your line, that's going to be a part of my.
No, there's no cost to the residents. So the network is built. It's an option, not an obligation, obviously. And then we run the wires to the home. Takes about a 2-hour installation. So another crew comes in about a week later or so to bury that to the ground. But when they drive away, whatever speed you looked up for, it just works at that point. They test it and all of that.
So it's comparable to like MediaCom that we already have. Everything is under the ground.
But we like to say we're better than we do County. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying for simple things for residents to
Yes,
understand, it's
yes.
like media, because right now we only offer MediaCom and it's satellite, right? So it's some satellite thing that,
There is a fiber optic that basically goes to the school.
right, that's it. So the
Yeah, for
limited-
intents and purposes, whether you have Comcast or, yes, it's a wire that's run to the home.
Yeah.
And from in the home, it comes into the home to a little modem, from there to a Euro booster router throughout the home. But we try to make it simple for residents. Those of you that weren't here a month ago when I talked about it, there's no connection fee, there's no contracts, there's no added taxes to your bills, things like that. It's a price lock for life at the speed you initially sign up for. And we've been doing this for 25 years. So when we were here, we did look at, you made us aware of some outlying areas, we call them edge outs. And so we're kind of taking that under consideration to our final design. And then we like to become part of the community. So when we heard about your golf outing and in the future, we could maybe participate with that. Your school system, we talked to Andrew briefly about the E-rate program. We're one of the top E-rate providers of schools. So, I mean, further into the state, the Bonfield area with the schools by Hersher and all that, we're building out some of those towns with fiber that probably would never had it. We didn't do the schools first with fiber. So we try to keep looking for the opportunity to keep enhancing things. And then in between the markets where we're building, that's how we serve the residential or the rural people with like grant funds.
Like our
and things.
country.
Yeah.
Mhm. So some people outside of our little 300 and however many, some of the outer people will be able to use it in some way.
We're taking that into consideration. So we had a first meeting and, you know, until we meet, then I hear about, I can't remember.
We talked about
Solid,
Sherberry
very
Hill,
nice,
we
or-
talked about
Yeah.
solid,
Yeah. Yeah.
Summer
States.
Curry States where you're pre-annexed or whatever like that, you know, so we're gonna try to be as mindful as we can.
Okay.
But to get to the next, I think we're here tonight for approval, take the next step, and the next step would be a more in-depth meeting than what we had a week ago
Okay.
to get into more detail of the project.
In a real quick comparison, right now, about the best you can get in Grant Park for maybe $135, $140 is 75 megabytes download, maybe 25 up. What this will do for half that price is give you over 100 up and down.
Right.
So I mean, it'll improve your service.
Mr. Franco, we have a question here. for you.
Yes,
sir.
You said you're gonna run the networks in front of the houses, or will some areas be rent?
Well, there might be some with rear, we talked about wherever your utility easements are, rear easements, front easements, our preferability is like ease the front as much as possible. But we had someone here, I think with your street department, maybe people that know utilities, so
How do you avoid getting existing structures that are in the ground? Like
we just try real
water
hard.
pipes, the water pipes, water supply lines?
So, whoever has most knowledge, whether it's head knowledge or GIS files or with your county, there's a lot of ways in this next meeting, we'll go deeper. The meeting we had a week ago, we touched on that. And so we'll try to meet the right people to get as much upfront information as we can, but we've done this many times with old communities, small communities. So we have to be as careful as we can. We want to know where your infrastructure is. We try to arrive at like an average boring depth to stay on top of water lines, things like that, like 24 to 28 inches. If there's GIS files available with the infrastructure, if you have a third-party engineer or anything like that, we try to be as
So
proactive.
you try to, what you're saying is you try to take the most feasible, logical route. That's the same,
Yeah,
okay.
and careful at the same time. So, I mean, we don't want to break anything.
Okay.
Nobody does.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I'm not trying to rush anyone. We're trying to get out of here before this next storm comes in. Yes, Beljean.
Is there a tax advantage to the village to have this come in? Does the village make any money off of this?
I was not at the meeting. I don't
Is
know.
it a benefit?
I'm sure it'll be taxed like any other.
Yeah, like all your other bills, it'll be that $1.50 or whatever it is.
How long it take to do a project like that?
Well, if we can move through this process, we don't want to make anyone feel rushed, but if we get comfortable with it. We can make a difference and be done this year. So the residents have an opportunity to
Okay. Thank
have up to
you.
2 gigs. Yeah, she's rushing me. There's a
Thanks,
storm.
Frank. I'm sorry. No, I just want to get everyone on here for the storm and we're gonna have a more detailed meeting with you next. We're in the middle of the vote on it, so I just want to finish the vote
Sure.
and then,
Yep.
so we were at Robin. I'm sorry.
I made the motion,
Yeah,
so
Good.
Just
He
for
was at Robin.
clarification though, this is just to move forward to come up with a more detailed plan, how we could do this.
this is to actually bring in their planning crew to bring us into the village. The talking stage will get more detailed at the next meeting, but we are giving Mr. Franco and the company permission to come in here and set this up. We've had one public meeting prior to this, and this is the approval for him to go back and say, okay, we're ready, so.
If I may add, I think something he didn't say is they're currently installing in Beecher and in Momentum, as well as Hersher,
Nice.
that he says they've done.
Yeah.
Am I correct in all that?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
Really?
we're just kind of in between.
Right.
Okay, any other questions, Robin? Okay, so I have your vote.
Yes.
Okay, then Mr.
Ben.
Morgan, Mr. Pacini,
Yes.
and Ms. Worrell. Okay,
Thank you. Next, was that all you had? I'm sorry, Ben.
Yes.
Next, buildings and grounds, Chairman Robin Berg.
I have nothing for buildings and grounds, but I have a foundation. Okay.
Robin has nothing for building and grounds. I have, I still have the roof estimates. I have them on hold only because we have other things that are a little bit more important. The roof is holding up at the police station, correct? Yes. Right, so I mean, knock on wood, we're good with that this year. We will continue, I'm sorry.
overlooking Morgan.
Did it? I'm on buildings. and
Buildings and grounds, but the
Oh.
police station
Oh.
I thought you were doing
That
yours.
was the roof project. No. No, I meant it. I was just saying the roof project for the police department, we have estimates. We're just not moving forward right now because we have other projects that are more pressing. The roof is holding up for now. It'll be, hopefully get done. Not this year or next year. Yeah. The foundation, who's speaking on the foundation? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Say something about the following.
Do you want to speak?
Oh, concerning the fountain out front.
Mhm.
The foundation is working on restoring. We finally found the buffalo box for it.
Okay,
Haven't been able, because it's been off about 25 years. I don't know that it's been opened. Have they been this week to
no,
turn it on and off, do you know? Adam didn't tell me that.
today's only Monday.
They did.
He wasn't quite ready. I think they tested it and it did come. They had water in the pipe.
Okay,
There's something down at the bottom that he has to have, like his friend from Cousins, take a look at
Yeah.
it to see what he needs to.
but anyway, he's trying to find somebody that can come with a backhoe and make about 2 scoops to open it up so we can get down there to
Okay,
actively work on it. And that's kind of where we're at. So once we can get that done, it shouldn't take all that much to get it restored and put back in shape.
all right, thank you, sir. Law Enforcement Committee Chairman, Ms. Morgan Laurel.
I do not, have a little something special.
I would like to introduce a new officer. His name is Greg Steppich, and I'm having him sworn in by Scott right now. Greg comes to us. He's retired from Chicago Heights Police Department after 20-some years. We're very glad to have him.
Got the cheat sheet note there. Okay, please raise your right hand, please, and for the record, state your full name.
Gregory Steppich.
Okay, and please repeat the words. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of police officer
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of police officer
for the Village of Grant Park
for the Village of Grant Park
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Well, see?
Bad. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're gonna need you to work tonight.
I don't work on Mondays.
Wow.
You don't work on.
It's not a golf. So don't go there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I am a golfer, actually.
Oh, yes, okay.
We got some spots, some good stuff coming up.
When are they gonna start?
You're
Already
just-
had it.
Oh, I already had.
You are free to leave. You don't have to stick around for the rest of it if you want. Okay.
I would.
Oh, okay. Anything else from you guys?
No.
I have. Ben.
I'll send you that information. I don't think right now we're prepared and I don't think they are either.
Mhm.
So when we get more information, then we'll present it in front of the board.
Mhm.
You know, as much as I know, and what they're expecting is to pick a form up and fill it out, and it's a little bit more involved. So I
Yes.
think we need to table it and we'll discuss it at a later date.
It's about Grant Park Mart wanting to get more licensing.
Oh,
We don't have any licensing available. They will have to apply for it. We're in contact with them. We're just trying to get it settled. The other on here was the review the police department roof, bids. I did just say we have the bids. We're gonna hold off until we have something else. The roof is holding up as well as it can for right now, so. We'll come back to that. I do have a form for the Grant Park Youth, softball, baseball, golf outing they have on, August 1st. I think we sponsored a hole last year. I think it's $100 to sponsor a hole. As long as no one has any pressing issues not to do it, I think we'll go ahead and do it again. I've already filled out Valjean's full sponsor and given the blessing for that one. That's not me, I don't have anything about that.
How much is for the historical?
We did the same, we did, I think, 100, yeah.
You don't say same, I don't remember yet.
Oh, no, I was saying same to him, I was like, I think we did the whole sponsor or something,
Okay.
yes. And with that being said, do we have a motion to enter into an executive session to discuss personnel and employment issues?
I would like to enter an executive session to talk about some possible litigation.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. So with that, our regularly public meeting is gonna be adjourned temporarily while we go into executive session.